Gavin Casey and Damien Watson to take the first bounce in commentary, and special comments Dan Sensick and Ray Baird whenever he finds his way back from the burger.
Sun shining at Templestowe Reserve as we get underway in the second half. Winning the tap for the Dockers there is Fancello. Forced it to ground level and will have a secondary bounce at centre field. The Dockers leading by a solitary point. Interesting to see how things pan out as far as the ladder goes in Division 3. Back at the middle, tap one forced to ground for Fairchild. Now the Hawks are away with the first centre clearance of the term through Johnson. Sends a high ball to left half forward. It was well directed in the end. Found the intended target on the chest in McCurtain. He can go back onto the right foot. He's not going to wheel around. He opts to chip it into the pocket and finds a leading target out towards the left-hand pocket. And the mark has been taken by the dangerous Jacob Patterson. He's kicking from 30 metres out on a very acute angle. He's already got one goal to his name, one major this afternoon. Donning the short sleeves, almost Michael Tuck 1987 grand final-esque this, even though the temperature's a lot cooler today to back then. Patterson, 30 metres out, wheels onto the right foot, sends it from left to right. It's coming back, but it's hit the woodwork. Minor score, so we're all level at Templestowe Reserve. The Dockers and the Hawks 4-3-27 apiece. Early in the third, let's head boundary side.
Nathan Watson for Boronia is actually out for the rest of the game. He's done his hamstring, so Boronia will be a man down here in the second half.
It's massive. So the short kick finds Pearce, who goes along out of defensive 50, but the Talls of Boronia again have got a marking option, and it's Rutherford who gets it long in, and he's got a short pass into Allen, who found his way into open space 40 metres out unchecked. Even though there's a leading option coming at him, he had about a metre in space before he took the mark. So Allen from 40 metres out, and just when you turn it over at any position, you're vulnerable in the matrix of setups from the kick-outs. And it's Allen who is left alone, straight in front, 40 metres out. He should put Boronia back in front, and will it be a 6-point advantage? It looks straight, it's true. It's another goal to Boronia. They've kicked all their goals, well, 4 of their 5 goals to this Porter Street end, and now it's 5-3-33. Boronia lead by 1 goal. Templestowe 4-3-27.
Well, Ray, I suppose the first 5 minutes of this third quarter are going to be all crucial, because at the moment it's, I suppose it's one apiece at the moment, with both sides taking a quarter. Of course, with Templestowe getting on their bike last quarter, but Boronia in this first 2.5 minutes of the third quarter have certainly staked their claim for controlling the tempo of the game.
Must be a pot of gold at the Porter Street end. Boronia back in front by a straight kick as we're back in the middle, and it looks as if it'll be a secondary bounce as Di Stefano affects the tackle for the Dockers. Boronia 5-3, Templestowe 4-3. Early in this third term, the Hawks playing a mini elimination final in many respects. Ball set in motion again. Tap one for the Hawks by Josh Hannum. Forced it to ground level. Allen trying to pluck it out for the pack. He's claimed. The umpire letting it go. We'll have yet another stoppage. Allen, of course, that last goal kicker. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. 98.1 FM Radio Eastern, or streaming live, efl.org.au, as Josh Hannon spoons the ball out. It was almost forked to the ground on that occasion, and we'll have yet another bounce. 3.5 minutes into this third term. Hawks lead it by a straight kick. Plenty of around-the-ground scores too. We'll keep you posted with Barry Cotts in the EFL score centre as Josh Hannum won the tap again for the Hawks. But it's the Dockers who move it forward. Jackson hacks it inside 50 for Templestowe. No leading target out there on that occasion. Trying to bustle his way through is Wilson. Wilson claimed by a couple of Hawks. He's gang tackled, and we'll have a bounce 40 out from the Templestowe goal. Relatively open forward line, I must say. I would have thought the Hawks would be trying to congest it. They do eventually bring that man back in Rutherford. On the last line, Hannum went up uncontested. Couldn't quite claim it, however. Templestowe try and burrow it forward. Mariani affecting the tackle. Forced to ground level again. Wilson dispossessed, and we'll have yet another stoppage. It's 2-on-1 deep inside the Templestowe 50. Lodge has a couple of opponents in the goal square. Hannum again dominant in the air for the Hawks as White is claimed, and we'll have another bounce. 40 out currently from the Templestowe goal. They're pressing hard. Only one goal kick to the hill end or the scoreboard end here at Templestowe Reserve so far in this game, as Wilson is claimed, and you have another stoppage. I think Gav Casey's luck's rubbing off on me, I must say.
I'm glad you're getting my luck.
Wadsworth contested in the ruck. Eventually it's shucked by Di Stefano, however, and he found an option in the pocket. It was a clever kick, low at the eyes, and Lee Murphy has taken the mark. He'll line up 40 out from goal on a 45-degree angle.
Sensational anticipation of the play there by Di Stefano. He hung a kick back from the play. He knew it was going to come out, and he was able to spot up a target.
So Lee Murphy be lining up on a relatively acute angle, it must be said. It's a testing kick, but it's a crucial one for Templestowe as far as their season is concerned. A long kick to the tee for goals. Didn't quite have the legs on that occasion. Rushed through by Pearce, and another minus score. Templestowe 4-4-28, trailing Boronia 5-3-33. Early going third to Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And he was looking to hand it off to a man. Wadsworth took his time on getting off. He might have wanted to have a long bomb because he just doesn't have the journey, Murphy, even 30 metres out.
Was never a prodigious kick.
And Di Stefano got on the end of one in the second term. So it's now working their way nicely out of defence to Luke Hannon. Boronia keeping it under control. The short pass is too short, so Luke Hannon gets a hand pass back to him before he kicks it from the half-back line to half-forward. But he rushed that kick, and Preston Giacomo read it too nicely, marked it in his defence. Screening his eyes from the sun, and the drop mark from Templestowe on the outer side means that Rundle has let it go, and Boronia might be in here. They've got an overlap, hand pass at half forward. Kick goes forward from Lake, goes into an open forward line. Contest forward where Templestowe have the numbers close to the boundary line. Patterson couldn't take the mark, and Templestowe rush it out of bounds. So those turnovers, just the sun getting in the eyes there of Rundle, and he spilt it. And as we've seen before when the goal went to Allen earlier, if you turn it over at half forward, Boronia are very good at normally finding a target in their forward 50. Rucks go at it. Henderson was behind his opponent, so the ruck contest was won by Templestowe, but they're yet to win it into the clear open spaces. Now finally they've got a runner, and it's Stefano who gets it, peering past the centre back. Now he's running again, gets a long drifting ball to half forward, and Wilson takes it in on the stride. He's got a man running into the pocket, just puts it into the open pocket. It's marked by May running into that space, and May has to now have a deliberate effort. It's Worthing who gets a short on into the pocket, and the man Mariani takes it 20 metres out. Probably a very acute angle, but this will close the gap. And not only close the gap, it'll put Templestowe back in front.
Needs to kick this, Ray.
Well, he has to kick this. But what great play by David Stevens.
You've got oh my goodness. We've both got the same disease, haven't we?
His play out of the back line was fantastic.
So it's in the hands of Mariani, who's playing forward, normally accustomed to be the midfield driver, puts it on the right post, just sneaks it in for a goal. And that is his first, but it's an important one because Templestowe move on to 5-4-34. It's their first goal to the hill end, and they lead Boronia 5-3-33.
Yeah, well worked out by Templestowe on that occasion there. They had nothing at home, nothing to kick to when they had the ball across half forward there, but beautiful work there by Nicholas Worthing to absolutely bust a gut to run forward into the forward pocket to take the mark and set that goal up there for Mariani.
Yeah, look, the ball just came from out of defence so quickly that Boronia had nobody back there to stop them.
Templestowe regained the lead to the applause and the car horns of the Templestowe crowd as Boronia win the clearance through McCurtain. Hacks it towards right half forward. Good mark in front. Well done, Rapasada. Runs off his man and from 40 metres kicks to the top of the goal square, but it's all Templestowe on the last line of defence, and Fiorenza takes the relieving mark. And from the right back pocket, it was too far, that kick. It's gone out on the full, and a Boronia player has crashed into the fence. And it looks as if down at ground level it was Hare. It was claimed, you could almost call that fence the tortoise because it claimed the Hare on that occasion.
Oh, we're not splitting hair, are we?
Oh, yeah. Anyway, the free kick's going to be taken by Dodd.
He's in a bit of pain here.
60 metres out from goal. Yeah, looking to recover. At least he's on his feet. And it looks as if he'll take the free kick. He's the recipient. So Luke Hare, 50 metres out.
Okay.
On the left foot. Sends a probing ball to the top of the square. The high flyers contest. Falls to ground level for Templestowe. At the bottom of the pack is Van Kirchhoff. He forces a stoppage, and it's 20 out from the Boronia goal. Important play here. Important moment of the game. Templestowe by a solitary point on EFL game day. Tap one by Henderson. Again, the clearing kick is pushed out on the full for Templestowe as they try and clear it from their defensive zone. And Boronia will have another chance to attack through McKernan.
Boronia need to open up that forward line. There's too many players down there.
It's very congested, isn't it? As McKernan waits for the ball to be retrieved from behind the fence. He's 55 metres out on a very acute angle. Wheels onto the right foot. Very deceptively chips it. High fly there from Brown. Couldn't quite take the mark. Dockers have numbers at ground level. But again, the kick out on the full. There must be a wind pocket up there.
No, it's a magnet. It's just drawing it in.
It's you, Gav, I think. You're on this side of the ground. Mark taken by Rutherford. 55 out from goal. Again, wheeling onto the right foot, sending a probing ball to the top of the square. They converge. A big spoil affected at the back for the Dockers. Still a chance now. Off the ground, it's a goal to Boronia.
Henderson, I think.
Came out of nowhere from Henderson. The celebrations ensue, and Boronia hit the front again. 6-3-39, leading Templestowe 5-4-34 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, Ray, I said in the opening quarter that opportunistic goals may very well be the difference in this game, and to create opportunities like that, it's very important.
Well, they had 4 or 5 opportunities to do it because it was kicked out of bounds that many times out of defence. So they eventually got it right, Dan. Yeah, but look, it's a goal that Boronia actually needed. We've been playing 11 minutes now into this quarter. They've only kicked 2 goals. You know, as John Brown said at quarter time, he wanted a few more goals kicked into that end of the ground, and they have to start doing it.
Templestowe weren't able to kill it in the goal square. Henderson got to the goal line, had one go at it, tackled, and then managed to get his foot to it on the second attempt and put it over the line for a goal. So it's an important one for Boronia. They now lead again by 5 points. Back in the middle. Second ball up from the centre. Tap one by Hannon, but it went to the Templestowe player, and they've gone out wide to the broadcast side where May's got the mark on the wing. Looks ahead for options. He puts a short in close to the line. Getting in there late was Lodge to make a contest, and he, even though he was the intended, he came in with the punch to get it over the line. So Templestowe trying to load up at half forward. The effects mic will get a workout now because the ball is right in front of us here at the broadcast. McKernan, you can hear the slap of the tackle go on his back as he gets taken to ground. And he's such a good player, McKernan. In the colours, he almost looks like Hodge. But they're not that good. Tackle comes flying in. Garrity gets taken, and he can't get rid of the ball as May decides to give some afters after the tackle. We know what the reward is for a win, and the umpire's got involved and says, Rundle, you were shepherded out of the contest, so you get the free kick from the ruck contest. Loads up a long ball. Mariani won't get there, and Rutherford takes the relieving mark, gets it to a runner. They're sharing it around with Hannon at the back line. He kicks it out of 50 finally. McKernan goes over his head, but he's going to run back with it first. And on the wing, he's got a metre on his opponent. Kicks it long to half forward. A nice mark taken on the outer side by Robertson. He's quick to play on it. Rapasada gets it. Dodges 2. Hand passes just as tackled, but the umpire says holding the ball, and Templestowe are off.
Indeed, and Rundle, a bit like Rundle Street Mall, the only attractive nature in that area. He takes the mark. I'll say that with personal experience from Adelaide as Templestowe slow it down. Chip pass looks inboard. Mark taken by Malitsis. As they slow it down, I think they're content to just stem the Boronia momentum in the last few minutes. Malitsis at centre wing sends a long ball towards left half forward. The high flyers contest. Boronia had the numbers 2-on-1. Collins forces it out of play.
Just in answer to you, Damo, I thought that our Adelaide Oval was a good place last night for my Swannies, mate.
That's true. Over 50,000 there last night, so they love that oval. Great attraction.
Didn't do them any good, did it?
No, must be the crowd.
You can hear the smile in your voice, Ray. It's really irritating.
Henderson forced at the ground. We'll have another stoppage.
Who's writing your material? BWS, is he?
And just around the grounds, we go to Ballarat. Bulldogs up by 13 points.
Thank you, Harry. Forced to ground level.
Can you hear me, Harry?
You do remind me of Tommy Lee, if I must say, Ray, as Henderson kicks it towards right half forward, but it's a Templestowe mark.
I hope you meant that in a nice way, Damo.
No. He was a great man, Tommy Lee. Leif. So, Dockers will move it towards left half back. It's really a pedestrian stage of the game at the moment. I think strategically that's what the Dockers are looking for, as a 25-metre penalty is paid against Boronia. So that'll be a crucial element of distance here for the Dockers.
And an encroachment free.
So, all currently at centre wing in the possession of Templestowe. Long, high, raking kick towards left half forward. Big pack at the drop. Hannon forces it to ground level. It's Luke. That's a looping hand pass or kick or whatever it was. It's forced out of play, and it may have been a push at the back. A free kick going the Hawks' way to be taken by Henderson.
Yeah, it was soft though, because he was a sitting duck on the ball. Why push him out of the way?
So the Hawks move it forward once again. Long ball towards centre wing. At the back, that's a good fly at the front from Rundle. Forced it to ground level for the Dockers. Still the ball in play and in dispute. They dive on top of it, and it's forced out of play. A number of them there, forcing it to another stoppage, and we'll have the ball in on the outer wing.
The umpire didn't know who to pay the mark to. They both had hands on it, and he just said, play on, guys.
It was a cluster of players, wasn't there?
So it's a boundary throw in half forward for Boronia. They've inched their way out of defence, and they go forward. The punch goes towards Worthing, who got on the end of a kick to Wilson, got it to Mariani for Templestowe's goal of this term.
Boys, halfway through the quarter, 5 points lead to Boronia. How far ahead do they have to be at three-quarter time?
A couple of goals at least, I would have thought.
Are we talking a scoring end, or is it just the way the game is that you think Templestowe will get on top in the last quarter?
Well, if the game goes the way the first couple of quarters is, yeah, they should get back into it.
Ball up 50 metres out from Boronia's goals. It's a fight for the ball. The umpire gets involved in that contest and says it's a free kick. And again, it's off the ball where Hannon will win the kick. Luke Hannon, he's from 50 out, might kick it as long as he can to the goal square. The big flyers come! Drop mark from Boronia. Ground level, it might come the kick off the ground, but there's a goalkeeper there for Templestowe, saving the day. And well done to Jackson to be on the spot as Boronia nearly socketed it through. So it's eventually found its way to the back pocket and out of bounds. And Templestowe will just take stock as they trail by 5 points and try to hold off Boronia. Rucks go at it. It's close to the point post now. Ball's flying around. The kick is quick around the corner to the goal square. Well done by Allen to get it to the goal square, but Templestowe are flying in with the tackles. Hannon drops it. Josh Hannon left it behind as he was going to have a shot in the pocket. And it's a big battle with Riddle getting it off the deck, kicking it out of defence. Goes all the way long out of bounds, and he's happy to see the line for touch.
So Boronia currently leading by 5 points. They're kicking to the downhill Porter Street end in this term.
Well, yeah, Mariani's now moved on ball, which is an interesting move.
Oh, it's a good move. Good move, I think. They need a bit more of that in and under stuff in the centre.
Rundle won the tap, found his completing Rover and Riddle, who hacks it towards centre wing. Flying high for the Dockers was Pearce, forced it to ground level. Now a chain of hand passes in shoes. And Lodge gets the hand pass back with a 1-2 with Mariani. Sweeping hand pass was brilliant, and they work it towards the broadcast wing. Streaming forward onto the ball now is Bain with a couple of bounces. Avoids another couple of tackles. He can go all the way, Bain. Mick McGuadden wears his way through. Still a chance, Bain. Too far, surely. Got the hand pass away. Umpire didn't play holding the ball, but the Hawks have the numbers and can clear it from left half back. Kick towards centre wing. They can make them pay on the counter-attack here, Boronia. Bolton marks on the broadcast side. Looks laterally into the middle and finds Allen. Works it through the corridor towards centre half forward. High flyer there, McCurtain couldn't quite take it. And the Dockers have the numbers at ground level through Van Kirchhoff. Kicks towards centre wing. And eventually streaming forward is Murphy. Stops, props, kicks into the man on the mark. And the Hawks should get a free kick here for a push in the back. That was a very crucial, crude tackle, and McCurtain will be the recipient for the Hawkers. So McCurtain on centre wing, outer side of Templestowe reserve. He's been a pivotal player so far in this game, particularly early on when Boronia were dominating. McCurtain towards right half forward, an uncontested lead there. Too far away, Josh Hannon from his man, and he takes it 50 metres out from goal. Probably within his range, given it's downhill. 55 metres out, sends a long ball to the top of the square. It's all Templestowe. Drop mark from Rundle, could be costly. At ground level, snap a goal from Fairchild. Fairchild kicks a fair goal, and the Hawks move on to an 11-point lead. 7-3-45, Templestowe 5-4-34. We're almost into time on third term, the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, Fairchild read the play absolutely beautifully there. He positioned himself. He knew the crumbs were going to spill out the front, and there he was, ready to collect them to snap the goal. He's a very smart player from what we've seen this year. He's good in the air, overhead, and also at ground level as well.
Well, what about Matty Bain thinking almost footy legends? He did 4 bounces, I counted, and he just ran himself too much into trouble. But I reckon he was so
Would have
excited.
been the goal of the year.
Yeah.
Did remind me a bit, McGuadden, didn't it?
Yeah, I think he saw the goals in his sights, but he just couldn't get a look at him just at the end. The turnover turned into a goal as Boronia went the coast to coast. They've got the centre clearance. Can they get a clear hand pass to Allen? He just taps it in front of himself, and Templestowe just get the numbers back to hold up at centre half back. So they're winning it out of the centre now, Boronia. They've got a bit of confidence out of those last 2 goals. They lead by 11 points, 20 minutes gone, third term. And they're playing for their life in 2017. They're currently in 5th. They win and they hold that spot. The ball quickly kicked out of the pack, going the way of Templestowe, and now they'll load up a long kick, but the kick was not looking ahead, and Murphy's kick was marked by Henderson, who goes out to the outer ring to a runner, and now they're off through Johnson, who has to stop and look at his options as Murphy mans the mark. He kicks into Robertson. He was second at it. Now has to come in as a tackler, and Templestowe under a heap of pressure. It drops to ground level. Rapasada just quickly kicks it forward. It's a contest as they all run in from all passages of the ground, and it's now a big pack jumping on the ball up 40 metres out from goal.
It's been a laborious task, hasn't it, for both sides to kick goals this afternoon. So you think if Boronia gets the next one in the shadows of 3/4 time, it's a very handy lead to have.
Hannon will use his arms too much and tackled the other ruckman and gave away a free kick. So Templestowe are thankful for that. It gets in the hands of Fanchelu. He kicks it across ground, dangerous as the being chopped off with a spoil. Picking it up is Robertson. He gets a hand pass out to a teammate. Flying shot from 45, misses everything. Garrity rushed it and he hooked his left foot to miss out to the right. And Fiorenza sighs as he kicks it out wide to Matty Bain, the man who took 4 bounces. He's got another short on. Taponi's just settles things down, slows it down, sees his options. 20 metres out from the goals of Boronia. He goes out to the outer side and finds his teammate in Brown.
Brown at left half back. There's a couple of options on centre wing. He'll look at that direction. Spearing ball. Almost found the intended target in Brundle, but a good spoil from the back there for the Hawks. I believe it was Allen coming through, forcing it out. We'll have a ball in 60 metres out from the Boronia goal. Currently lead it by 11 points, the Hawks. You'd think they need a lead of that nature coming into the final term, with Templestowe having the downhill Porter Street end and the home crown behind them. And the ball up again, a stoppage out of the throw-in. So again, the ball set in motion. Neither ruckman could win the contest on that occasion. Burrowing through there is Hare, couldn't quite take it. Still the ball in dispute, fumbled out. Good kick off the right foot for Bolton inside 50, almost the mark taken there from McKernan in the front spot. Good tackle applied from Fairchild, and we'll have the ball out 50 metres out from the Boronia goal, directly in front.
I think Collins got in the front when he pushed his opponent out of the way.
Always take every advantage it can to get the front position. Josh Hannon wins the tap. Quick sharking, high ball, the snap out of the pack has gone out on the full. I believe it was Rapasada, and it'll be a Templestowe ball from the last line of defence. Jackson will look for the lead here at left half back, and he takes the mark. Brown was the kicker. Jackson looks inboard, and Templestowe, I think he was trying to com for a 50-metre penalty on that occasion. Bain put it out in front of his opponent, who knocked it out of his hands, but Bain looks to switch the play towards left half back, and streaming forward is Lee Murphy for the Dockers. Takes a bounce, kicks towards centre wing, and a good spoil there from Hare. Forces it over the line, outer side of Templestowe reserve on centre wing.
He's one that's worked absolutely tirelessly for Boronia this afternoon. Hare, he's been in everything. He's been knocked around, but he keeps on getting up.
He's been very serviceable game.
Centre of the wing, the boundary throw-in is on the outer side. Rucks go at it. Nullified by the Rovers, crashing in, but finally it goes to Jackson at the front of the pack. Spears a pass into Wilson, who on the lead's too far out, but he might get a running player into the open with Pearce. Back position, close to the goal, comes over the back, foot to the ball does Pearce, but he kicks it towards the boundary line in the pocket. No score, boundary throw-in close to the right behind post. It's an 11-point game as we approach 3/4 time in this important round 18 game. Boronia leading by 11, and they maintain their 5th spot on the ladder with this winning, well, the lead. If not winning, there's a tackle that came in too high. It was so obvious that everyone stopped. Boronia hung their heads, and Templestowe find themselves with the next shot at goal. As see on the replay, just the tackle of Lake as the Pearce was coming through the pack at a rate of knots, and he ran into the tackler's arm over the shoulder. So Pearce, who's already scored 1 goal in that second term, He'll close the gap to 5 if he can kick truly from 40 metres out to the hill end. He puts a long driving ball, it's hooking and it hits the post. The top of the post is wobbling as Pearce's kick misses. 5-5, 35, 7-3, 45. Dare I say, it was off.
Well, it was a couple of posters for Templestowe already today, and with a margin of 10 points, they may end up costing in the end.
Current live ladder at the moment if results proceed as they are now. Boronia in 4th, Templestowe 5th and Heathmont in 6th. As the ball comes towards centre wing, streaming through the corridor. Great play from Johnson. Probing kick inside the 50. A bit of a shove out from Patterson. It was legal. Evades his tackler. Gets the hand pass on. And it'll be an easy goal streaming through. Ryan White slams it in. And the Hawks move on to a bigger buffer. That's his second goal, Ryan White. And the Hawks lead 8-3-51 to Templestowe 5-5-35 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as we reach the cusp of three-quarter time.
Great play by Ryan White there. You know, he did the initial work, and then he ran on and after he kicked it, he ran on and he was there to mop it up and kick the goal, and that's the sort of goal that can break Templestowe's back.
Let's have boundary side, Tim Fitzsimons.
So they'll be extremely unhappy that they were able to get the ball out the back there, especially a late goal here in this very important third term.
Takala got eased off in the marking contest. Patterson didn't have the snap, was cool under the pressure, handed off to the open running White, who got his second goal on the board. Templestowe won the centre clearance, but mopping it up is Lake. His kick smothered, so it's still in the area for Templestowe. Can they get the last of the third term? Flying shot out, it misses to the left. And it's Malitsis who misses that one, 5-6, 36. And Boronia 8-3-51, 15-point lead. And if that's maintained to the end, they'll play each other next week.
Yes. It is a sense of Groundhog Day, isn't it? The Hawks bring it back into play through Henderson. Big mark at the front. Rutherford just stamping his authority on this game with a great contested mark at left half back. Rutherford looks towards centre wing, broadcast side. Flying high was Collins. At the back, good reading of the play there from Hannon. Got the hand pass to Fairchild. Spearing ball towards left half forward. It was misjudged for the Boronia player in Casillas. As a consequence, Rapasada tries to weave his way through. And a touch of the fumbles is claimed in a tackle. Loses possession. Still a chance for Collins. He's stripped of the football. Forced to ground level. Still the ball in dispute inside 50. It's a great passage of play. The Dockers can move it forward on the counter-attack through Riddle. Spearing ball along the boundary line in a confined space, and it was a great mark, great lead from Wadsworth, but it's all to no avail because the siren has sounded at three-quarter time and we're set up for a grandstand finish to this last quarter. Templestowe 5-6-30.